and inside the barbershop, showing adults and kids ducking and running.
I didn't know it was footage
Chaos
of this.
unfolded.
Oh, as soon as he turned around, it was the wrong car. So last time we was here and the young thug, how he got away with a beat, right? With killing Nut, it was starting off on that situation, right? The last time we seen him, they took a picture together. And then something else happened. So we finna get into this video, man. Shout out everybody rocking with the content and going crazy.
Big shout out to Barber. I'm seeing him be rich gang YSL for life, you know what I'm saying?
The man introduced by Thug was none other than Donovan Thomas Jr., better known in the streets as Big Nut. Big Nut was born on April the 4th, 1988, and despite being only 26 years old in 2014, he was a bona fide OG in the streets of Atlanta, even with his nickname Nut, short for Peanut, coming from the fact that he was a small kid who, according to his mother, looked like the cutest peanut.
Would you tell the jury who it is that is depicted on Stacy's Exhibit 3, Yankee?
That's my son, Donovan Thomas Jr.
And did you call him Donovan Thomas Jr. or did you have another name for him?
Yeah, we called him Peanut.
Where did that name come from?
Peanut head.
Just him growing up, he was smaller than he was, as you know now. And we just thought when he was born, he was just a cute little peanut, and that name just grew with him.
Damn.
Nut grew up in University Homes public housing project that was located in West Atlanta near downtown before being torn down in 2009, and he attended the nearby Booker T. Washington High School. At some point, Nut would become affiliated with a gang that reps the old 4th Ward neighborhood, often known as simply 4th Ward, this gang sometimes being referred to as the Bird Gang. In fact, if Atlanta law enforcement are to be believed, Nut wasn't just any member, but the second in command in the Bird Gang. This set is, or at least was, also known as the Pink City Bird Gang. The Pink City name, according to some Redditors, allegedly comes from where Nut and his friends used to trap at. However, the name Pink City Bird Gang could also be a play on the classic 2003 song Purple City Bird Gang by Harlem rapper Jim Jones. Now, the Bird Gang is known as the BGCMB, the CMB at the end standing for their late member Lil Chris, real name Christopher M. Bennett, who was killed in 2011. According to some people, Chris was in fact Nut's brother, his death hitting Nut seemingly very hard, and he would even get a large CMB tattoo on his chest, as well as several huge diamond chains made in his honor. As already hinted, Bird Gang is also another blood gang, with their members seemingly primarily identifying as the Inglewood families like the ABG, at least according to Atlanta law enforcement. Nut himself would seemingly often rep the gang on social media, throwing up different hand signs associated with that gang. But Nut wasn't just an alleged high-ranking member, but he was also seemingly a successful businessman in the music industry too, who was very close with industry titans like Birdman, posing with him in photos numerous times. Nut also went.
He was somebody that had the real money. He could put up. He could make a young thug himself. We could put the money behind the artist, but back then you needed that media push.
Seemingly way back with the Baton Rouge rap legend Boosie Badass, as well as apparently being close with the pioneer of the modern Atlanta trap sound, Waka Flocka. And of course, Nut was also very close with YFN Lucci, who allegedly shared the same Inglewood family blood gang ties with him. As Nut himself would state, his name held weight, likely both in the streets and in the Atlanta rap industry, where he was part of different music industry ventures, most notably the record label called Think It's a Game, or TIG, which was founded by Nut's friend, Gervan Fly Henry, who was one of the most well-known industry players in the Atlanta rap scene, as well as being known and awarded for his philanthropy, and even getting knighted by the city and having an official day named after him. In fact, it would actually be Nut who would introduce YFN Lucci to Henry and landing him his deal with Think It's a Game Records.
And Nut, man, you know, he introduced me to Fly. He was like, man, Fly know, like, man, shout it. It's hard, like, ain't nobody harder than him, man. He, you know, he want to do it, he love doing it, so he gonna do it, and he gonna listen. So, you know, he a good person, you know, to have in your corner. And Fly, you know, Fly, but that was his man, and he believed in him, and we made it happen.
Lucci and Nut had developed a strong relationship, and Nut would continue praising Lucci early in his career, commenting on his posts how Lucci was about to murder the rap game. Nut would even bring Lucci around his mother from time to time, which Nut's mother would actually speak on from the stand at the eventual YSL trial.
Did your son ever bring Lucci to your house?
Yes.
Did you ever see your son interact with Lucci?
Yes.
Was Lucci one of the artists that your son worked with?
Yes.
I sustain objection as to form. You can rephrase.
What was the relationship between your son and Lucci?
Just entertainment. music.
By all accounts, Nut was an instrumental player in getting YFN Lucci into the rap game, and Nut's untimely demise, allegedly caused by members of YSL, would lead to an intense and violent war between Thug and his YSL crew and YFN Lucci and his YFN crew and their affiliates like the ABG. However, there's much more puzzle pieces that would allegedly play key roles in Nut's murder, going far beyond the beef between YSL and YFN. So if you want to know more about that years-long back and forth between those two factions, you can go and watch my deep dive documentary I already did about that whole beef, because with regards to the YSL RICO case, it would actually be another artist whose connections to both Thug and Nut would allegedly be crucial in Nut losing his life, and that person was Rich Homie Quan. Rich Homie Quan, real name DeQuantes Devontae Lamar, was born on October the 4th, 1989, and from a young age, he would show an interest in becoming a musician, even getting a tattoo of a microphone on his body at age 16, stamping the rap game on his skin and setting his intention on making his way in music by any means necessary.
I go to jail, I got a microphone telling me in high school, you know what I'm saying? But I wasn't rapping, I was shy though, you know what I'm saying? So I'm in jail, so dude was like, oh, you got that microphone, you don't rap, you don't know be rapping, everybody rapping it, you know what I'm saying? I was like, nah, man. So a dude coming in named Tomahawk, I remember like it was yesterday. It was in May, I had been locked up 4 months by then. So he rapping, he got the whole dorm on lock, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, he ain't doing nothing, I can't do it. So he beat everything. He beat with his hands on the table, but it's shining so, and I was like, man, that's when I really got the herb, man. I'm finna get back on the music, man.
However, before embarking on his musical journey, Quan would initially pursue a career in professional baseball as a way for him to get out of the streets, even receiving a college scholarship based on his talent in the sport. Damn. But due to baseball being a majority white sport, apparently Quan knew that it likely wasn't going to work out for him unless he had exceptional talent.
Did you graduate from high school with something like a 3.2 GPA?
Yeah, I graduated from high school with a 3.2 GPA. Yes, sir. Graduated. I had a scholarship to go to Fort Valley, Fort Valley University to play baseball, but
somewhere else.
I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I didn't get a scholarship for academics. My scholarship was for baseball, but with my academics being that, I didn't have to pay for school at all, you know? Mm-hmm. But.
Okay, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but my mind was on rapping though. Like, baseball, cool, but in the back of my mind, I really want to rap. Because as I'm getting older, I'm noticing like, my favorite players growing up, Sammy Sosa, Andrew Jones, but yeah, they black, but yeah, I hear Andrew Jones talk, bada. Like, what the hell, Andrew Jones, I thought you was black. So as I started getting older, I started realizing like, the percentage of black men in the MLB is very small. So I'm like, I'm good, but
smart.
I ain't that good.
He would eventually end up following the college path for a couple of weeks before dropping out due to having to commute a whopping 4 hours to school every day. Quan would then turn to a life of crime in order to make ends meet, and he and some friends would begin breaking into houses when Quan was about 19, stealing televisions and other electronics, while also seemingly dabbling with music, like making a song called Stay Down in 2008 with a rap group called the Stack Money Boys, which had all the essentials of the Atlanta sound at the time, being a highly upbeat party anthem in the style of Roscoe Dash, Travis Porter, and other Atlanta legends from that time period. However, Quan's brief stint in the life of crime came to an abrupt halt after a few months when his crew was caught and Quan was sent to prison. Following his release from prison in February 2011, Quan was determined to turn his newfound passion for music into a full career, and soon he would join an Atlanta rap crew called Loyalty Over Royalties and begun putting out music again. Being part of the crew granted him access to studio sessions and an ability to print mixtapes at a good rate, which was through his friend CEO Teezy. But tragically, Teezy was killed later that year, which would end up discouraging Quan and delaying his plans with music. At this time, Quan was struggling financially, living in the basement of his mother's house, but still keeping himself occupied and recording every day on his mattress. And by April 2012, Quan would be gaining traction with the mixtape I Go In On Every Song, which would eventually end up gaining the attention of Gervin Fly Henry, the head of Think It's a Game Records, who would hear Quan's mixtape in his Fly Kicks shoe store, leading Fly to then end up
this is what I mean, like, I've never heard this man in my life. But you could hear about somebody every day and think they the shit. The whole time, this is somebody you need to learn. This is who you need to learn the sauce from, a nigga like that. On the right. You don't have to be a rapper, bro. Just letting y'all know that.
up signing Quan for $19,000, which Quan would receive in $400 installments every week. Quan would then start dropping mixtapes under the label, starting with the tape Still Going In, released in September 2012. This tape would include the single Differences, which now has over 20 million views on YouTube. According to Quan, at this point he was already getting thousands for his shows, but things would really change for him after he would drop Still Going In Reloaded in February 2013, which would include the song Some Type of Way or Simply Type of Way. This would be Quan's first mega hit, peaking at number 50 on the Billboard Hot 100 and at number 8 on the Hot Rap Songs chart, becoming a fan favorite. The
Sometime
music video for the
boy.
song, released in July 2013, now stands at over 300 million views on YouTube, while the song has over 100 million plays on Spotify. But the track resonated beyond the charts, becoming an anthem for the 2013
bro, I ain't
Michigan
gonna
State
lie,
Spartans, a football team that was on.
You might see a lot of songs, and they got like, oh, he get 33 million streams. He getting all these streams, like. But it's certain music that everybody know. Like, you play that song, everyone knows this song, bro. And if you don't, you still gonna dance to it. If you never heard, that's one thing. My music, I don't think I got music like that. Like, my music is different. Like, but the way Rich Homie make music, bro, and certain people make music, as soon as it turn on, you be like, hey. That's one thing I get at Atlanta.
Fire that year, with the team actually being invited to the 100th annual Rose Bowl, one of the biggest events in college football, and Rich Homie Quan would even join them for the celebration. And this was nearly a year before Young Thug would start getting his own Billboard hits, which is often forgotten when discussing the Rich Gang era and the influence that both Quan and Thug had in the group's success. As early as February the 12th, 2013, Thug was well aware of Quan's meteoric rise in the Atlanta rap scene, and he would take to Twitter to hype and tease an upcoming collaboration between Chicago-born and Atlanta-raised Lil Silk and Rich Homie Quan, as well as posting cover art for the song a few days before its release. Thug seemed to be a genuine fan of Quan's music and would respond to a fan that suggested a link-up between him and Quan would be hard with the hashtag facts. But it also made sense for Thug career-wise to align himself with the hottest new prospect in his city, as Thug was still more of an up-and-coming rapper at this point, while Quan's career was going from strength to strength more rapidly. And at the end of 2013, Rolling Stone would even name Quan's Still Going In Reloaded as the 10th best mixtape of the year, and in May 2013, fans of the two rappers would be blessed with their first collaboration, when both featured on Gucci Mane's Trap House 3 album on a song titled Chasing Paper. Gucci being one of the biggest artists to come out of Atlanta trap in history, this was a major look for both artists. Although Gucci at the time was fighting his own demons with drug addiction and mental health issues, eventually landing himself in trouble with the law. But from here, after that Gucci co-sign, going into the summer of 2012, Quan would continue having breakthrough success at national and even international level. In September, he would be featured on the iconic hook of the hit single My N-Word by the California rapper YG alongside Atlanta trap legend Young Jeezy, with the song peaking at number 19 on the Hot 100, and the music video now having over 350 million views on YouTube. The song truly opened doors for Quan to become a global star, charting in 7 countries around the world, even going platinum all the way in Sweden. In November, Thug would post a tweet telling the world that they weren't even ready for the collab that he was about to release with Quan, and later that month, Quan would release another mixtape titled I Promise I Will Never Stop Going In, which would include the song Get the F Out My Face, featuring none other than Young Thug himself. The song wasn't quite the mega hit that Thug was making it out to be, although he would make it part of his live performances, clearly seeing the potential in the duo's collaboration. Thug would also post a vlog on his YouTube channel in November showing him and Quan working on a song together that would eventually be released with the title Time. By the end of 2013, Thug's career too had begun taking off in a major way as well, and Thug's rise would lead to endless speculation about the multi-million-dollar record deals he was courting, and together with Quan, they had truly become the most valuable rookie rappers in all of Atlanta. Meanwhile, Quan's Think It's a Game label, aka TIG, where Big Nut was involved, was doing all-round great business as an indie record label. Meanwhile, Nut would post several pictures of himself and Birdman together on Instagram, along with captions saying that he was with his fellow Blood Gang homie and that people should stay tuned, together with hashtags repping his TIG label, perhaps inferring that he was indeed doing some business in the music industry with the #1 stunner Birdman. Around the same time, Nut would also post a picture of him and Young Thug performing a signature blood handshake at Birdman's condo, showing that these two were also very close. Then, at the end of June, the bomb would drop, as Thug and Quan together, under Birdman's Rich Gang Collective, would drop one of the most iconic trap songs of the 2010s. I'm of course talking about the song Lifestyle. Originally, Birdman's Rich Gang Collective was mainly comprised of rappers who were already signed to his Cash Money Records, and their projects would do relatively poorly, despite the very—
Bro, you know, it's crazy. I can't even hear that song without like thinking of a meme now. But that song used to be really like, niggas play that. I woke up in a new Bro, that shit's so outdated. Like, it's not that it don't slap. It slap, but it's like, bro, this is what it is. Yo, the internet is brain rot, bro. All them old songs is so cooked by memes, bro.
very big names being involved in them, but with the Lifestyle song becoming an undeniable hit, peaking at 16 on the Billboard 100, going certified platinum before the end of the year, even being named as Complex's second best song of the year. Today, the music video for Lifestyle sits at a mind-boggling almost 700 million views. This was an enormous hit, instantly making Rich Gang synonymous with both Young Thug and Rich Homie Quan. Quan would later reveal that he had actually first met Birdman when he came to his show in Miami, with Birdman then inviting Quan to a studio to play him Lifestyle. Quan actually initially thought that it was Lil Wayne rapping on the track instead of Young Thug, truck, while Birdman would let Quan know that he'd actually been saving the track for him to lay another verse on.
First day I met Baby, came to one of my shows in Miami. He was like, nephew, pull up on me at the studio. I got one I want you to hear. Rightfully so, I pull up to the studio. He hit Spaceball. The rest is history, bro.
Ooh.
That song he played, Lifestyle. When I first heard it, I was like, man, who that Wayne? When I first heard Lifestyle, I thought it was Wayne on it. He's like, nah, that Thug. I was like, well, what the Thug? I didn't die. I've been had it for. I've been saving it for you, nephew. I swear to God. I swear to God. The first time I met Birdman, went straight to the studio, we did Lifestyle. I promise to God. And we were shooting the video 2 days later.
Nut and Fly, the founder of Think It's a Game Records, would also be both present at the video shoot for Lifestyle, with Big Nut himself even making a very short cameo in that video, and he would also promote the song on his own Instagram, repping both Rich Gang and his actual gang set, the Bird Gang, as well as of course the Bloods in the caption. But interestingly, around this same time, the Bird Gang would also begin rocking custom clothing with a logo for their set that was basically a modified version of the Rich Gang logo. But the same day the Lifestyle music video was released, Nut would post a picture on his Instagram hanging out at Birdman's condo, showing that the two were seemingly very much locked in on the Rich Gang project, despite Nut's crew kinda copying their source. But it seemed like things were good between Nut and Birdman, with Nut even seemingly traveling around in Birdman's private jet during this time. In July, Nut would post a photo with Quan saying how much love he had for him while shouting out his Inglewood family gang, accompanied by both Nut and Quan throwing up hand signs associated
just posting pics. Hey, I'm on a jet.
With that gang. But Quan wasn't the only artist getting love from Think It's a Game Records, because while Rich Gang was becoming one of the biggest things in rap, Nut was already eyeing the label's next talent, this of course being none other than YFN Lucci, whom Nut would shout out on his Instagram, calling him the next big artist coming out of Atlanta, as well as posting a video of a Think It's a Game photo shoot attended by himself, Rich Homie Quan, Lucci, and the label founder Fly, while Lucci would use Twitter to reveal that he and Rich Homie Quan had been recording music together. And in the months that followed, it seemed that things were still cool between Big Nut and Birdman. In August, Nut would promote Birdman's flashy lifestyle vlog episode, tagging both Thug and Birdman in the post, as well as promoting Thug's birthday bash that was to be held at an Atlanta nightclub. And the business meetings with Birdman also seemingly continued, as Nut may well have been acting as both the representative of Rich Homie Quan and Think It's a Game's interests within the Rich Gang collaboration. In September, on the other hand, Nut would proudly promote the Think It's a Game artist during the BET Award weekend, with both Lucci and Quan included in the roster. Later that month, Birdman would officially release the new Rich Gang mixtape titled Rich Gang The Tour Part 1, with the cover art showing a face that was half Young Thug and half Rich Homie Quan. At this point, things appeared to be business as usual, at least on the surface, as Nut was seemingly still cool with Birdman, posting a photo of the two together with both holding Rich Gang themed double cups. But on the streets of Atlanta, things were getting hectic, and the very same day that the Rich Gang tape was released, Rich Homie Quan's father, Corey Lamar, would be at a barbershop where he worked, when a group of men would enter the shop with an apparent mission of robbing the place. Things would quickly escalate into a shootout, during which Quan's father would get shot, ending up in the hospital in critical condition, but fortunately surviving the incident. Think It's a Game label founder Fly would send a statement to XXL the day after the shooting, saying that as far as he knew, the shooting was not gang related, but other sources were providing a different narrative, with one local reporter indicating that the shooting may have been related to a feud between Quan and another rapper. And although the article itself would hardly expand on this theory, the writer may have been referring to lyrics from Quan that some had taken as a diss towards Future, as local TV news would also seemingly indicate this same story, even using a clip from an interview where Quan had addressed this beef.
News Since 4, we're hearing from a man who says he chased the gunman who shot a popular Atlanta rapper's father. Channel 2's Tom Jones now live in Northwest Atlanta, where police say, Tom, that the gunman got away in a black Honda Accord.
Justin, that's right. That's also the description of the car. That witness told me he chased down this road after he heard gunshots coming from Lamar's barbershop. The victim survived the shooting, a shooting many in this community think is connected to the victim's son, Atlanta rapper Rich Homie Quan.
Rich Homie Quan is here.
Atlanta rapper Rich Homie Quan, whose real name is DeQuantis Lamar, is one of the hottest artists around.
I'm a smooth operator.
He's also known for his close relationship with his father, Corey Lamar.
Where your pops at, man?
Yeah, the crib, man, here in Atlanta, man. Cool, man.
Some here at Lamar's barbershop are wondering if an alleged feud between Quan and other rappers led to Corey Lamar being shot 4 times inside his barbershop. Atlanta police say the gunman came in the shop and opened fire.
So I heard about 3 gunshots, and so I saw the guy come out.
Van White says he heard the gunshots, saw the gunman, and chased him, but he got away.
He got in a black car, and that's all I know from there.
One barber told me.
That's probably a vet. He was trying to, what? Them my people in that shop. That's why I be so stuck, because it's like niggas gotta go to war with their own people. We could be putting this energy somewhere else. Like, I feel like niggas be addicted to this shit though, man. That's why niggas, anybody that stay in the hood, they be addicted to that shit. Like, being in survival mode.
He went to the back, and another barber said he left the shop. They say that's when the gunman came in. Workers here told me someone shot up the shop about a month ago. I talked to several people who believe the shooting is a result of Quan feuding or disrespecting other rappers and songs. Police wouldn't comment on that and say their investigation continues. But in at least one interview, Rich Homie Quan repeatedly said he isn't feuding with one rapper in question.
I never dissed him. I never disrespected him as a man.
However, during the YSL trial, in a shock turn of events, it would actually turn out to be none other than close affiliate of Young Thug, YSL Woody, who would admit to doing this shooting along with other culprits, saying that he had done it due to his friend called Threat, real name Trevante Turner, having problems with Rich Homie Quan.
What happened in Nut got nothing to do with YSL. This excuse me language. This got everything to do with Threat. You know what I mean? I was trying to protect Threat from the get-go. You know what I mean? Threat, and they had some more stuff going on. Like,
was Threat at the gambling house when it got shot up by Kel?
Young, you say nothing I say can be used against me?
That's right.
Me and Threat shot up Rich Homie Quan there at the barbershop on Bankhead. I don't know what happened with Threat and Rich Homie Quan, but I'ma ride with my brother. And they was beefing.
And he got a crash. He crashed out. So Woody's a real Atlanta clone. Crash out. That shit remind me of the YBC Dole situation. I always talk about, bro, because I just start learning about shit later. Like, I'll be ignoring a lot of shit, especially if they doing crazy ass antic and gimmicks. Like King Von, I ignored them when they was alive. Jeff, I seen what they was doing, ignored it. Dole, I seen when he dug the grave. I made a video on it when he was still alive, right? But bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. This shit just make you want to stay far away from the trench, bro. Cause like a nigga will wake up and be ready to crash. Like, no, you didn't have to explain nothing. You just ready to ride. Like, damn, you ain't gonna know the context what's going on for you try to go pop somebody, bro. But gang, right?
And yeah, we pulled up and did that.
Okay. And as a result of, why did you and Threat shoot up Rich Homie Quan Daddy's barbershop?
Because I'm a ride with Threat.
Okay.
Right.
Did Threat tell you why he was shooting?
I
up
won't
the
ask no
barbershop?
question. I just say let go.
Threat would end up being killed in June 2024, taking his version of the events that day to the grave with him. But regardless of what was going on in the streets, on the music side, everything continued as if nothing was happening. And in October, Rich Gang would drop another hit, the song Tell 'Em, together with a music video showing Quan, Thug, and Birdman living the lavish tour life, accompanied by fancy cars, tons of liquor, and scantily clad women, with the music video now standing at over 55 million views. Also in October, Nut was riding on a high of his own, announcing the birth of his daughter Kaylin on Instagram, and his relationship with Birdman and the whole Rich crew at least seemed better than ever, with a new vlog from the group dropping in November, where we would see that already mentioned clip of Thug introducing Nut to the camera as one of the biggest bloods in America.
I got one of the biggest bloods in America with me, my you did. Atlanta, Georgia.
This was followed later in November by another Rich Gang song and music video titled Freestyle, where Nut can even be seen making a cameo greeting Quan with a gang handshake at the beginning of the video before he begins his verse. The following month in December, Nut would make a cryptic post seemingly announcing the start of a new business venture called Big Business Entertainment, which he would accompany with a caption saying how he was done with the small talk, from now on everything was going to be big, together with hashtags repping both the Think It's a Game label and Rich Gang. On a separate note, Lucci's career was also thriving at this time, as he would release his first mixtape under the Think It's a Game label in mid-December titled Wish Me Well, a project which would also include a feature from his
See why it's 3 hours. Damn, he be stretching this shit out. He be stretching it out. But the good thing is, well, y'all don't care about that, but I can react to the video now and still I have to update my OBS streams because it wouldn't let me upload and react at the same time. One of the apps that keep crashing, but I got it now.
Label mate Rich Homie Quan on the song Exactly How It Was, which would eventually also get a music video about a year later. But unfortunately, within a month of this collaboration, they would end up losing the very person who had played a pivotal role in launching both of their careers. As in early January, Nut would post another picture of him and Birdman chilling at Birdman's condo, although based on the caption, it seemed that this was an old picture taken in the summertime, not January. Interestingly, according to the YSL indictment, the very next day, Thug and D would post a photo together with the caption, "We ain't going back and forth," which the prosecution would consider to be an overt act in furtherance of the gang conspiracy when it came to the trial. This seemingly indicated that the authorities thought that this post was addressing Nut in particular, and a few days later, Thug would allegedly rent an Infiniti Q50 sedan from Hertz, handing it over to his YSL goons. And only 3 days after that, on January the 10th, 2015, whatever had been taking place behind the scenes was about to come to a tragic conclusion. It was approximately 8:45 p.m. when Nut was in front of the Hair Unlimited barbershop on McDaniel Street in the Castleberry neighborhood. He was conversing with a group of people when the Infiniti Q50 that Thug had rented would allegedly drive past them, which according to prosecutors had 5 men inside. Javaris Bradford, aka Tudor, Justin Cobb, aka Doo-Wop, Diamante Kendrick, aka Yak Gotti, Demise McMullen, aka Nard, and Shannon Stillwell, aka SB, with someone inside the car opening fire and hitting 3 people, 1 juvenile and 2 adults, one of these being Big Nut himself, with security cameras even capturing the events from both outside. Nut would receive several shots to his upper body and would be rushed to the Grady Memorial Hospital, where he would sadly pass away at just 26 years old.
They could have damn near seen that. I ain't gonna lie. Nah, niggas always say that when they watch footage.
Shooting and
can't prevent nothing.
One of the victims is a teenager. The shooting happened outside a barber shop, and tonight one victim is clinging to life. Channel 2's Jessica Jaglois is live at the scene where there's still a very heavy police presence. Jessica.
As you can see behind me, there is still quite the active scene here in Southwest Atlanta. McDaniel Street is still closed, and it has been for more than 3 hours. That's because there are shell casings up and down the street. Now, I'm told one of the men who was shot, a man in his mid-20s, is in critical condition, but that his status could change for the worse overnight.
It appears that they were the intended target, but again, we're not sure the reason of the shooting.
Atlanta police are investigating why 2 men in their mid-20s and a 14-year-old boy were shot outside of a barber shop in Southwest Atlanta Saturday night.
Right now, it doesn't appear that they had anything connection to the business. They were just kind of hanging out, is what we appear.
Investigators say it appears to have been a drive-by shooting, and according to several witnesses we spoke with, an automatic weapon was used.
The search is on for the person who shot 3 people, including a 14-year-old. 1 man died. Channel 2 Steve Gelbach is live at Grady Memorial.
Have y'all ever shot a Draco, what they call it? Have y'all ever shot a Draco? Have y'all ever shot like an AR, bro? And smelt the gun smoke and hear boom, 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 boom? That shit is demonic, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. That shit is very demonic. Like, I can only imagine a motherfucker being behind that motherfucker and you just woo, 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 woo. Cause that shit is loud, bro. Like, I don't know if y'all have ever shot a gun, or I haven't been in those situations where I'm shooting. I ain't been in those shootouts, right? I didn't have to run from shooting before, but I ain't ever been in those shootouts, bro. So, but when it come to a nigga just rolling a window down, seeing people just, you know, like they ain't not paying attention, and you just boom, 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 like that shit is very demonic to me. Like, it sound like literally you're disturbing the frequency of Earth when you shoot a gun, bro. Like, it's crazy.
Hospital. Steve, investigators say they don't have a motive, but they don't believe this shooting was random.
I did hear back from Atlanta police in the last half hour by email. Said there's really not an update on this case yet, but they do confirm it is a homicide investigation. All 3 victims, including a 14-year-old, were brought here to Grady Memorial Hospital, and 26-year-old Donovan Thomas was in the most serious condition, and the medical examiner's office confirmed he did not survive.
Later during the YSL trial, the prosecutors would show numerous crime scene photos showing the aftermath with Nut's Chevy Tahoe riddled with bullets and numerous shell casing markers scattered across the crime scene.
I'll also show you what's been admitted as Exhibit 12Y, 27Y, 26Y, 218Y, 174Y, 193Y, and 221Y.
I can't make the
Following Nutt's
thumbnail
death, the whole city of Atlanta would seemingly pay tribute to him, with billboards in his memory appearing everywhere, including at Club Crucial, where YSL Woody had apparently gotten into an altercation with Nutt's brother only days before his death. Meanwhile, Nutt's family would take over his Instagram, using it to honor his memory, and artists close to Nutt would also pay their respects, like YFN Lucci, who would post a video to Facebook mourning the loss of his good friend.
Yeah, man, shit working, man. Yeah, just hot out of this big right here, though. Got my man's working. We working, man. Big Bentley shit. YFN BC, long live Nutt forever.
Lucci would later even memorialize Nutt by naming his 2017 mixtape Long Live Nutt, as well as speaking in interviews about how Nutt had been the one who put him on in the rap game.
Well, yeah, I see a lot of stuff different from back then because, you know, I lost one of my homies who really got me on. You know, long live Nutt forever.
Oh, I'm thinking, I don't know why I be getting Lucci and Yo Gotti mixed up. I'm like, ain't Lucci been rapping since like 08? But oh yeah. This makes sense. A real, like, somebody that really, one of the rappers you get to put money in from the same section or whatever section they was from, like, shout out to Nutt for investing in the Lucci pipes. He's not even probably changed that man's life, you know?
Birdman 2 would pay homage to Nutt after his passing, posting a picture of the two on Instagram with a caption calling Nutt a solid guy who would never be forgotten. According to the DA Fannie Willis, the murder of Nutt would begin a years-long bloody back and forth between YSL and YFN, which may have led to as many as 50 shootings, and, according to the former Fulton County DA Paul Howard, already in 2017 had led to 4 retaliatory murders. But in the immediate aftermath of the murder, it wouldn't ultimately take long for the authorities to get an idea of just who might have been behind the hit, as already the following day, none other than YSL Woody would find himself in police custody, as the police had allegedly been hearing rumors that he was actually behind the murder, so they wanted to interview him straight away, as he would later recall in the YSL trial.
Now, Mr. Copeland, I want to direct your attention to Saturday, January 10th, 2015, the night that Donovan Thomas was killed. I want you to go back to that day before Donovan Thomas got killed. I want you to tell the jurors what you remember.
I remember getting a call saying that I killed Nutt.
Okay, you killed Nutt.
The word was, I got a call and people were saying that, am I okay? They saying I killed Nutt. He asked me what I got going on, or if I heard what happened, or I don't know what he said. I just know he said that, you know what I mean, people saying that I killed Nutt, and he would call him.
They like, bro, we need to get you in custody before you get nailed. Give us information.
Did you kill Nutt?
No.
Did you ever see the police about Nutt being killed?
Yeah, the police called.
During the interview, Woody discussed an ongoing conflict that he and Thug had with a man named Shell Kell, or Kel, real name Kelvin Watts, who was the brother of Big Nutt, sort of, as the father of Shell Kell's brother from his mother's side, called Greedy, is also the father of Nutt, and they all seemingly grew up together.
What made you want to pull you into this situation to happen? Okay. Me and Kel. You know what I'm saying? Man, we had a problem in the club. Is that him? No, this Nutt. Okay. Alright. Kel, they say this the little brother, but I thought he was just Chinese, but they say they real brothers. Kel. K-E-L. K-E-L. Kel. Okay. Okay, go ahead. Little brother of Nutt. Yes. Who you identified from a picture, which is Donovan Thomas. Yes, okay, go ahead. Me and him got into it in the club Crucial. What day was that? It's just like it was like it's a lot. Okay, so 2 months, 3 months, a year. I was out there about I'm saying no longer than 4 months, 4 months. So every time y'all be at Club Crucial, y'all see each other, y'all get into it. So we don't even fight, we don't do none of that. The only time I fight was the last time. Okay, so what was that? Monday they just passed. Monday.
In an attempt to end the beef, Woody would approach Kel at Club Crucial in Atlanta, with the two exchanging words, before Kel would then approach Thug and also speak to him.
All the time we get into that club, you know what I mean? Yes, they shoot birds at every shoot back at you. You know what I'm saying? 100%. We go outside. Don't go on that, don't nobody fight, don't nobody that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just go outside. We leave. This every time we got to the club. But last Monday, We in the club. But this case came in, it was Monday.
So that's the culture. That's the culture out there. Go to the club, see your ops, beef with the ops. I'm thinking like, bruh, you know what's crazy? Cause this sound like some shit that happened when I was going to school, going to parties in high school parties. The niggas walk in, opposition walk in, shit get crazy. Like, I ain't never participated in that shit. I just always was looking at them niggas like, you know, you niggas ain't gonna scare me. But I ain't finna get popped in here neither. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta play smart. Go to the other side. I'm gonna go where the women and ladies are on the other side of the party. Y'all can go look tough around the killers if you want to. But yeah, bro, niggas go to the club just to run into niggas you potentially got problems with. Like, where your priorities are so clapped. Like,
Monday. But Sunday, it was the Sunday before that week. Me and Kill, I seen Kill outside. So I'm like, hey Kill, how did you? So as me and Kill standing right there, we talking. We talking about everything we gotta get each other. So as we talk, we like, it's over with. They challenge and cover. So we like, it's over with, we ain't beefing no more. So Kill like, alright, but he wanna talk to Doug and see what Doug has to do with it. So like, man, Doug ain't standing there jump up, you know what I'm saying? He ain't into this. So he's like, how you wanna talk? So him and Doug talk. Whatever said there, I don't know.
The following night, Woody said that he returned to the club and began flexing money, but that's when Kel and a group of his guys would approach and begin assaulting him, attempting to rob him for his cash.
Monday come, I'm in Kush. As I go to Kush, I pull out my money. I'm on stage, I'm flashing my money to all the girls standing around. I'm flashing money. So I get on the stage, I'm flashing money. Kel and his whole walk up on me. So I look at him, he's like, what's up, bro? I'm like, what's going on, y'all? And he ain't saying that, so he just looking at me. So I'm still flashing money. I'm laughing, I'm playing with everybody. So he's like, hey, what's up? I'm like, what's up, bro? He's like, Doug still want to pay for his window. Like, I guess so, bro. But he in the club. Like, go talk to him.
Go talk to him. You talking to me,
so
bro?
Yeah, like, he took his necklace. He put his necklace inside. So I look at it, I put money in
Oh, yeah, I'm instantly putting my shit in my pocket. What? Yeah, it's time to get right.
So I put money in the pocket. I walk out. You know, I walk over here. I look at him. So he turned around, he tells somebody something to ear. So I walk towards the kitchen. When I walk towards the kitchen, all of them walks behind. I was by myself. So when I get to the kitchen, I see everybody walk behind. I try to turn around and go back to the stage. Kel punched me in the back of the head. So he punched me in the back of the head. He pushed me to the ground. He tries to go in my pocket and get my money. But as I hold on to my money, the other guy punched me all in the face. But I didn't care, I was holding on to the money. So as they punch me, I get out of it, I run.
He would then go on to explain how the opposing blood set, this perhaps referring to the Bird Gang or the Inglewood family in general, would have a meeting about him and Thug the day before Nutt's death, where plans were apparently drawn up for Woody and Thug to be murdered.
Friday, they had a meeting. The meeting, like, it was a blood meeting. And the meeting was about me and Thug. You and Thug, me and Young Thug. But the whole time, I'm telling him, like, what Thug got to do with this, bro? Young Thug was just talking. Young Thug, the rapper. I'm like, what he got to do with this? You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking to him.
Because he's famous.
So, like, he with you. I'm like, bro, it ain't no beef, bro. Like, I can't stand y'all niggas down here. You know, don't pay me no attention. I'll pay y'all no attention. Nah, this man. But there was a guy that was at me. Said that was the guy down the road, Mo. He's supposed to say, kill me and Young Thug. So I asked, I got 10 minutes on my phone. I text my phone like, hey, bro, y'all gonna kill me and Thug? I said, let's say, and he like, bro, what you talking about? Like, ain't that like they been said? So another guy talking like, ain't that like they said? I'm like, okay, they just lying. He like, yeah. So next thing you know,
Woody would then explain how his rivals would start shooting at the gambling house that he would regularly attend.
in the gambling house, I got to be and we can gamble now. You know, that Lakewood. They go and stand on top of the roof and shoot inside. So they stand on the roof shooting inside the building.
Damn, they can just popping the window. They on your roof trying to. God damn, niggas is intricate, but I mean, shit, you in the South, niggas ain't getting no money. They got all them damn guns. What else they gonna go do but use them? And niggas be motivated too. come on, let's load up. It'd be a little nigga skinny as hell with a fat ass chopper, boy. Snow on a bluff type shit. Atlanta, boy, that motherfucker. Like, I ain't know Atlanta was janky. I mean, I knew Atlanta was janky, but like, you know, being from like Oakland and then listening to Chicago drill rap and just knowing New York, Detroit, like you used to like this. Well, Detroit kind of like different, but you used to like the city, you know, niggas shooting by buildings and ducking and running and hopping trains and you know shit like that, like streets and. But that country beef be different. Them niggas just be in the country beefing. Goddamn. There's big ass guns.
So they say everybody
with these back and forths then allegedly escalating to the eventual full-blown murder of Big Nut before he had a chance to take out Thug and Woody. But Woody himself would claim that he had been at his girlfriend's house when this
But hey man, let me know if y'all wanna still see these clips. I'm gonna post this one today. But I'm about to react to this whole video, but it's gonna take me a few days because it's so long. But